India has won the space race. After Russia crashed its spacecraft trying to land on the south pole of the moon on Sunday, which, by the way, no one has done before, all eyes turned to India, which was trying to do the same thing yesterday. And mission accomplished. India softly landed its Chandrayaan-3 spacecraft on the dark side of the moon yesterday. And for the first time ever, I didn't find it cringe when people clapped after a plane landed, because this is a huge deal for India. It is a sign its small but growing space sector can compete with the big boys, because after all, just 3 other countries have landed on the moon before, and none on the South Pole. Plus, the most impressive thing about this mission was the low cost. As of 2020, the mission had a budget of just $74 million. And to put that in perspective, that's less than half of the money it took Christopher Nolan to make Interstellar. So India not only landed on the moon, but showed it could do it on a Kirkland-level budget.
The thing that stands out to me is that this is not the first time India's done something like this, because in 2014, it landed a rover on Mars for a similar budget, $73 million. And this is also really funny. The orbiter was designed for a lifespan of 6 months. It lasted for about 8 years. So not only is India balling on a budget, reaching these places that you wouldn't think they'd be able to, but they're also executing. Like, they're not just getting to the surface of the moon, they're landing on it. They're not just getting to Mars, they're landing on it. So it truly is an inspiring thing to see someone on a shoestring budget accomplish things that these major superpowers have been struggling to accomplish.
Yeah, and compared to NASA, I mean, NASA's budget was $25 billion last year, and India's space program's budget was $1.6 billion. Obviously, the NASA guy is like, okay, but like, we're doing a lot more, you know, we're not doing kind of equivalent things. But it really is important for the space industry more broadly to get expenses down, because it's so costly, obviously, to go to space. And the more you can bring costs down, the more activity you can do, obviously. So the whole industry, I mean, Elon Musk has spearheaded this with his reusable rockets for SpaceX. But if you can bring costs down from where they were, the space shuttle, each time the space shuttle went to orbit, it was $1.6 billion. And those costs have come down dramatically, and India is showing that you can do space on a budget, which is going to unlock a lot of this economy.
Although I do love the director of the Indian Space Research Organization. His quotes were so cheeky yesterday, where he was saying, everyone's like, how'd you pull this off on such a cheap budget? And he says, I won't disclose such secrets. We don't want everyone else to become so cost effective, kind of tongue in cheekly. And then he said, these are very cost effective missions. No one in the world can do it like we do. So I'm totally for him, kind of, because he did something amazing. Like,
but what do you? Okay, the real reason it's so cheap is because labor doesn't cost as much there.
It is a different, different kind of playing field.
Like, we're paying, engineers $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, and just based on differences in our economies, they're not getting paid as much over there.
I was also very happy to see, though, how big of a deal this was for India. Over 8 million people at one point were tuning into their live stream. Like, you saw the images of people clapping and just celebrating when this happened. So it is always a great moment of national pride whenever something like this happens in the space race.
This is the year of India. They become the most populous country in the world. They get their first Apple store. They land a spacecraft on the dark side of the moon.
First Apple store, land a spacecraft. Very similar.
But this is interesting. It's not necessarily guaranteed to get. You would think that, okay, it's 2023. We can land something on the moon, right? We can do it. We did in 1969 with basically no technology. But in the past decade, we're only 3 for 8 on landing on the moon. We have a 375 batting average, which would be good for the MLB. The Yankees would take that every day. But we're not that good. And then we're also 23 for 50 overall since moon landings began. Gravity 27, Earth 23.
There you go. Hey, thanks for watching. And if you want more Morning Brew Daily, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And also check out the rest of our episodes wherever you get your podcasts.
New episodes drop at 7 a.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. And you can email us at morningbrewdaily@morningbrew.com.